Guys, I need to talk to you about something very important, and that is entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to become an entrepreneur in today's world, and that's because of social media. In the last 5-10 years, social media has been blowing the fuck up. And everybody wants to become an entrepreneur now because they see the big fancy jets, they see the exotic cars, they see the mega mansions and the luxury vacations around the world. Who wouldn't want to become an entrepreneur? But that's not the reality of what true entrepreneurship is. And those are the very elite of the elite out there that have these luxuries. Now, I'm not saying you can't have these luxuries in your life, but in order not just to become successful, you have to be profitable in your business. And very few businesses actually do make it. 99.99% of people fail at this because it's hard. That's what makes it so desirable for so many people. They want to be independent. They want to be financially free. They want to live a better life, and you should choose this option. But be prepared for reality and hard facts of making these decisions for yourself. It's not going to come easy. And that's what today's topic is about today, guys. So if you don't know who I am, my name is John Schnabel. I own one of the largest party bus companies here in Wisconsin. We've done several real estate dealings and much more on side projects, even in charity as well. So I don't claim to be an expert by any means. In my previous life, I had several businesses as well that I actually failed at. But the key to my success is that I never give up. Now, if you want to hear more about this, go into my previous videos on these topics. But guys, let's go into this topic on not being a wantrepreneur and actually being a real entrepreneur that can help yourself, your family, and your community. Because that's what it takes, guys. It's not always about you and what you desire inside your heart. No, the more people's lives that you affect and change and help, the more successful, not just financially, but mentally and physically and spiritually and so many other factors of your life that you can become wealthy in. It's not always about the financial situation in your life. Being a well-rounded businessman or woman will dictate your success for yourself on many levels. So guys, let's go into today's lesson. The first thing I want to share with you is don't wait for the right time. So one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs aren't able to turn into an entrepreneur is because of the so-called excuse of time. They come up with an idea that may have a great potential to be successful, but they never act upon that idea simply because they wait to jump in the market at the right time. What they don't seem to understand is that the timing will never be right for you. It won't. You won't have the right amount of money. You won't have the right amount of time. You won't have the right people. There will always be somebody else in the market that will be competing and taking your space. The point of this, guys, is there's going to be 99.9% things out there that will deter you from actually becoming an entrepreneur. A great entrepreneur, though, distinguishes himself or herself from the wantrepreneur to launch their service, product, despite all the circumstances like time. So guys, just start, no matter how small it is. Just start by putting one foot forward. Number 2 will be stop complaining or overthinking. Complaining is one of the biggest setbacks you create for yourself. Often it starts with complaining and then it never leads into anything at all anyway. So why do it? Often it starts with complaining and then it leads into overthinking. So complaining is never good for you because you will overanalyze everything anyways. Soon you will get to the point of this that you'll create problems that don't even actually exist in your head. And as you already probably know, whatever you put in your mind, it will become the reality. The key difference between an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur doesn't lie in the complaining part, because an entrepreneur is a human too. And complaining is part of a human DNA that we all have. Instead, it's about doing something about the complaints. For every problem, there is a solution to the problem. An entrepreneur will be adaptable enough to figure out the solution for the problem he or she faces. A entrepreneur, though, just complains and does nothing about the situation, hoping that it will just resolve itself. So instead of wasting all your energy complaining about all the things that are wrong, invest that energy on coming up with solutions instead. Number 3 is no risk, no reward. This is a very simple one that you probably heard many times in your life. But guys, taking risk is scary, and it requires a lot of courage. I always tell people when they say, I don't have money, but you have courage. And that is often more valuable than the money. Guys, it's often the case that you have to make tough decisions based more on your gut feelings than logic or reason sometimes. This can be confusing for some, since you've been taught from an early age you have to follow reason in order to be safe and to make it into our society that teaches us these things. However, if you always play it safe, you'll never really unleash the greatness that lies within you. Entrepreneurs won't follow through with their ideas because they get paralyzed with the fear when they think all about the things that could go wrong with taking a jump forward. They get so upset and frantic about it all on what can go wrong in my life. They decide to wait for better moments in time, or a better season, or having more money, or waiting for the kids to go to college. Pushing it off could actually be your biggest failure of all because of the timing. Real entrepreneurs know the risk of failing as well, and they're scared to death as well, just like anybody else is. The difference, though, is they know that it's part of the game that they're playing, and they want to achieve these accomplishments, so you have to roll the dice. Just like my tattoo, I have roll the dice on it because I am constantly in the casino with life. You cannot gain the world if you don't have a little risk. A great quote from Einstein said, "A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what a ship is for." So venturing out in business requires both planning and taking risk. Number 4, this one is so important for entrepreneurs, and that is focus on business longevity. A major point of entrepreneurs fall short is having a clear vision. The entrepreneurs only think in the short term, and they are focused on achieving success quickly and how much money they can make as fast as possible. But doing this compromises the business plan, and take a few dangerous shortcuts to get there might actually sabotage the whole thing. Entrepreneurs act rushed, and they want everything to happen overnight. However, what entrepreneurs don't seem to realize, but entrepreneurs do, what comes easy won't last, and what won't last comes easy. A true entrepreneur has a vision of what he or she wants to accomplish. The vision gets slowly achieved by setting goals. They know that there is no such thing as an overnight success. And if it is, most likely it won't last long. So they realize in order to be in business for longevity, you need to have a strong foundation on which the business is built upon. Shortcuts might be helpful in the short term, but in the long run, they'll compromise your results. So remember, Rome was not built in a day. Guys, there has never been a better time than the now to take a leap of faith to make it happen for yourself on becoming an entrepreneur. We live in a day and age where things are so accessible for us to learn and to adapt to our lives. The internet has changed everything. You can Google or YouTube anything and become almost a master at it with just a little experience. The key to everything, though, with this is to think how this can last for 30 years. I love the last part of longevity because that's where my mind is. It's not even on the next year or 5 years or 10 years. I hate 5-year business plans. When people ask you what's your 5-year business plan, I have a 30-year. I know where I'm going to be in 30 years because that's where my mindset is. I'm not looking for the short-term success rate that everybody wants everything now. Now doesn't exist in this kind of realm. It takes time. Elon Musk started in the 2000s. Took him over 20 years till he became the richest person on the planet. Same with Jeff Bezos with Amazon. I can't remember the year, but it was in the 1990s. Took him 25 years before anybody even really knew who the guy was selling books. Guys, great things take time. Remember this. So I want to leave you guys with this. If you guys like my content, give me a thumbs up on it. It means a lot to me. If you want to follow along on our daily vids, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. And guys, if you want to engage with me, write a comment down below because I will respond to them. Thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow.